Hello everyone, my name is Adnan Ahmed and today we will talk about IELTS Speaking Part 1. Many of my friends, viewers who watch my videos, they were complaining that I am just speaking and there are no notes, there is no whiteboard. So I thought I should write it down on the paper for your convenience. If some of you want to write the techniques or the ideas that I'm sharing with you regarding IELTS speaking, you may note it down. So today we will talk about part 1 of IELTS exam. You will see that on the top of this page I have written leave mobile phone. Well, this is nothing to do with part 1. I'm just telling you that once you go on the center where your exam is going to get conducted, there they will take your mobile phones, they will put whatever the number is, your number, they will put on the mobile phone and they will keep it. And later on, once you will finish your exam, you will collect it back. Then you have to wait in the waiting area. You have to sit outside and you will wait for your turn to go inside the room where your interview will be conducted. So here your exam, like techniques or the useful tips that you should keep in mind, get started. Don't be late. What does it mean? That if you have short time to reach on the exam center, then definitely it is going to give you stress. And once you are in stress, you will not perform as good as you can while speaking. The second is, it is an interview. Remember, you are supposed to answer the question. Don't think that whatever the interviewer will throw on you, you are not supposed to ask any question. So you are the person who is going to get interviewed and give the appropriate answers after listening the questions. And in the start of your interview, the interviewer or the examiner, he or she will ask your ID or passport, and this ID will be the same that you have booked your test with, IELTS test. Definitely you have to book an online test, IELTS test, and whatever ID, is it your ID card or your passport, whatever you have used to apply for IELTS exam online, that ID you must have. Then the interview starts and the examiner asks you, what can I call you? For example, your name is Adnan Ahmed, like me. It's your choice. He is just giving you space and a comfort that you should feel relaxed. Don't get confused. Like, it's a friendly way to ask someone, what can I call you? So that is totally up to you. Whatever you like for yourself, you can tell the examiner to call you by that name. For example, my name is Adnan Ahmed, and if I want examiner to call me Ahmed, I can simply say, you can call me Ahmed, and that's pretty fine. Next is first impression count. What does it mean? Like, for example, you enter into the room and the examiner is waiting for you, and you suddenly see on your shirt there is a mark, and that mark is of tomato ketchup. How would you feel that? The examiner would say, okay, hi, how are you? And definitely he or she would see your shirt, and that will definitely make you confused, and once you're restless, you can't perform your job appropriately. So make sure that you are not late, you are in time, and you are properly dressed. There's nothing wrong visible that can make you confused. When your time starts of interview, the examiner will ask about your home, work, where do you live, tell me something about your hometown. Well, here, you have to keep in mind, you are not supposed to tell exactly where do you live. You can tell anything, but for that, you must have sufficient vocabulary in order to justify your answer. It's just a warm up. You can see next step I have written. It's a warm up. And do you really think that the examiner is concerned where do you live? He or she does not care where do you live, where do you work, where do you study. It is actually an exam where your IELTS, your spoken skills in English are to be evaluated. They want to assess your communication skills in terms of speaking. So, either the question is about your hometown or work or study, you must have prepared. If your spoken is not good enough, I would rather suggest you to write the answers at home, practice them. But there's a problem, I would definitely tell you, that writing is more formal when it comes to speaking. Speaking is not that formal. Obviously, speaking is formal, but the thing is, if you have written something and the written passage as it is you want to remember, that is going to give you very tough time, because it's not necessary that you will keep all the words inside your mind. You may do mistakes. It's not necessary whatever you have read or what you have learnt by heart, it will stay in your mind. Am I right? So don't do that. Next step is, it's a warm-up. Don't try to showcase your language ability within no time. For example, I would just put a simple example in front of you to give you an idea that what does it mean. If you meet someone and they say, hi, how are you? What would you say? I'm fine. My name is Adnan Ahmed. I live in a village and my qualification is PhD, for example, and I'm teaching in a private school. I am teaching A levels. My students are very nice, but sometimes I think my job is hectic. They make noise. They don't listen to me. They are like, they belong to well-established families. They don't listen. They don't care. They know their rights. What do you think would be the response of the next person? You know what he or she will do? Okay, Ali, how are you? Like, simply they will say, excuse me, this gentleman is just bombarding me with information, man. I didn't ask anything like that. He's giving me information as if I am, how should I say, a person who has gone to a hotel to have a room reservation or something like that. And even there, these kind of questions are not asked. Okay, let's move on. Keep it short and simple. Don't show off your vocabulary. I have told you about this, that in the start it is a warm up. You have to stay short and brief. Relax. In part 2 and part 3, you will be given sufficient time, or the questions would be asked in such a way that you can showcase, you can show off your vocabulary or your language skills in spoken. So keep it short and simple. The more shorter sentences you will speak, the more easy you will feel to answer the question. Listen, it's warm up. It's just a general information the examiner is taking from your side. He or she just want to know about you, not personally. She got nothing to do with your personal life. He has nothing to do with your academic background or work or anything. Simply, they just want to check your communication skills. But in part 1, you have to stay with concise, short and brief answers. Don't try to stretch the answers. Don't prolong the answers, because this will put you in a great trouble. You will find a way to escape, but you will feel tired. You will go in the words of jungle, and you never know, a lion will attack on you. It's just a joke, just to make you understand that please, in part 1, keep the answers short, simple, to the point. Well, in part 1, there is another thing. You may repeat the question. You may. It's not necessary that every question you have to repeat. For example, if the examiner says that, okay, Ahmed, where do you live? Tell me something about your hometown. You may say that, okay, my hometown, that is pretty fine. It's okay. But I am not saying that on each and every question you should respond in such a way. No, I'm not saying that. Because if you will do the same thing for any upcoming question, it would give an idea to the examiner that this guy or this lady or this woman or this girl has practiced this, that such kind of acting I'm going to do in front of the examiner. So don't dare to do that. You may, in the whole exam, you may do this for twice or max thrice. And you're not supposed to repeat the whole question from like, where do I live and what can I tell about my hometown? No, simply, okay, about my hometown, fine. It's okay, but do not do that for all the questions while answering them. So that was something about IELTS part 1 when we talk about speaking. And before ending this video, a last suggestion, piece of advice, a request that please do not remember the written answers of the questions and go to IELTS speaking exam. Why? Because it is a bit stressful, a bit for those people who are going to appear in IELTS for the first time as an interviewee. It's going to give you a bit of stress. That is normal, but it does not mean that you should remember or you should keep in mind, you should learn it by heart, the questions, and repeat them or answer them as it is, the way you have learned them. It is going to give you tough time, you will get confused, you will shake, and you will forget the answer. And once you have forgotten anything that you have remembered, that was written, it's going to give you tough time, and finally it's going to reduce your band score. My name is Adnan Ahmed. Look after yourself. Bye.